From fired to fortune, the Tyra Banks turnaround story. What if I told you that one of the most iconic supermodels in history was once told she was too fat for the runway? Yes, Tyra Banks, the trailblazing beauty mogul, television producer, and business powerhouse, was fired from multiple modeling gigs at the height of her early career. It's hard to believe that the same woman who redefined beauty standards, built a media empire, and became the first African-American woman on the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue was once deemed not good enough. But her story isn't just about glam and grit, it's about relentless reinvention. In a world where one rejection can shatter dreams, Tyra turned failure into fuel. Her comeback wasn't just epic, it was strategic, disciplined, and unapologetically bold. So how did she go from runway reject to reality TV royalty and self-made mogul? Let's dive into the incredible journey of Tyra Banks and uncover the key chapters of her legendary turnaround. The Paris shutdown. When Tyra first broke into the fashion world, she was the new it girl. Tall, poised, and photogenic, she took Paris Fashion Week by storm, booking an unprecedented number of shows for a newcomer. But just as quickly as she rose, the phone stopped ringing. The reason? Her body began to mature, and designers weren't having it. High fashion was still clinging to the wave look of the 90s, and Tyra's natural curves didn't fit the mold. Imagine getting canceled in your prime, not for anything you did wrong, but because you dared to have hips. The rejection hurt, but instead of shrinking, she pivoted. She left Paris and focused on commercial modeling in the US, targeting brands that embraced body diversity before it was cool. That strategic move laid the foundation for her long-term success, teaching us all that sometimes the industry doesn't fire you, it's redirecting you. The Victoria's Secret pivot. After her rejection from high fashion, Tyra turned to a brand that would later define a major chapter of her life, Victoria's Secret. But it wasn't just a lucky break. She rebranded herself as the ultimate girl next door meets goddess, making herself indispensable to the brand at a time when they were redefining sex appeal. However, being a black woman in a space dominated by Eurocentric beauty ideals came with challenges. Tyra had to prove, over and over, that she wasn't a token but a trailblazer. And she did. She became one of the original Victoria's Secret angels and changed the game forever. She didn't just walk the runway, she owned it. The practical lesson here? Adaptation isn't weakness, it's power. And when a door closes, sometimes it's a sign to build your own runway. Breaking the beauty mold with America's Next Top Model. The fashion industry had its gatekeepers, but Tyra decided to become one herself. When she launched America's Next Top Model, no one expected a modeling competition to become a cultural phenomenon. But Tyra wasn't just creating TV, she was redefining the entire modeling narrative. For the first time, the world saw models with vitiligo, plus-size contestants, and girls from every background being celebrated. But the show wasn't without controversy. Tyra faced backlash for some of the show's editing, critiques, and dramatic challenges. And yet, those same critiques opened doors for vital conversations about representation and industry ethics. She turned critique into currency and led the dialogue. The takeaway? Don't wait to be given a seat at the table. Build the table, set it yourself, and invite the world to eat. The Harvard Business Power Move. In one of her most unexpected and calculated pivots, Tyra Banks enrolled in the Owner/President Management program at Harvard Business School. Some rolled their eyes. What does a model need an MBA for, they asked. But Tyra wasn't just chasing credentials. She was mastering the tools to run her growing empire. From cosmetics to media production, she began scaling her brand with the precision of a CEO. And while the Harvard program sparked both admiration and skepticism, Tyra used the press to reinforce her new identity, not just a beauty icon, but a boss. It's a reminder that investing in your knowledge is never a waste, even if others don't get the vision yet. Smize Cream and Brand Reinvention. What happens when you take your signature modeling tip and turn it into an ice cream empire? You get Smize Cream. This wasn't just a gimmick. Tyra combined storytelling, personal branding, and food innovation to create a dessert brand that literally had a treasure in the middle of every scoop. But let's be real, launching a consumer brand during the pandemic wasn't exactly a smooth ride. Delays, logistics issues, and shifting customer behaviors tested the brand's staying power. Yet again, Tyra showed up, stayed visible, and kept iterating. Her reinvention teaches a critical lesson. Branding isn't just about logos, it's about building emotional resonance. If people believe in you, they'll follow you from the runway to the freezer aisle. Facing backlash and owning up. Let's not sugarcoat it. Tyra's journey hasn't been scandal-free. In recent years, clips from older ANTN episodes resurfaced, showing moments that didn't age well, questionable challenges, harsh critiques, and problematic messaging. Instead of dodging accountability, Tyra responded with public reflection. She acknowledged the harm, clarified her growth, and used the moment as a conversation starter. In an era of cancel culture, she reminded the world that growth is messy but possible. Owning your past doesn't weaken your legacy, it humanizes it. And let's be honest, how many people would admit their missteps with that kind of transparency? Teaching the business of personal branding. Beyond her media projects, Tyra began teaching at Stanford University, offering a class on personal branding. Think about that, a former model turned mogul teaching Ivy League hopefuls how to market themselves like a brand. It wasn't just about being famous, it was about being memorable, strategic, and authentic. Her course emphasized how storytelling, self-presentation, and identity shape opportunities in every industry. And for someone once dismissed as just a pretty face, Tyra flipped the script in the most poetic way possible. It's proof that influence doesn't require a title, it requires intention and impact. Turning criticism into capital. Tyra has a way of taking what the world throws at her and spinning it into gold. When she was told she was too much, she built a career on being more expressive, more visible, more strategic. Critics said she was overdramatic. She made it her brand. And that brand has earned her millions. The lesson? Don't water yourself down to fit into someone else's glass. Be the whole picture. In a world desperate for authenticity, being too much might just be your greatest asset. Building a legacy beyond the spotlight. Tyra isn't just focused on what she does today. She's planting seeds for tomorrow. She's invested in mentorship programs, partnered with youth organizations, and constantly advocates for financial literacy and entrepreneurship. She doesn't just want to be known as a supermodel, she wants to be remembered as a super mentor. Her work behind the scenes may not always make headlines, but it's redefining what it means to leave a legacy. Because true success isn't about staying in the spotlight. It's about using that light to illuminate others. Tyra Banks' story isn't just about bouncing back, it's about building forward. From fashion's front lines to boardrooms and branding classes, she's rewritten every chapter they tried to close on her. And through it all, she's reminded us that failure isn't the end, it's the beginning of your real story. So if you've ever felt rejected, underestimated, or told to shrink, remember Tyra. Stand tall, smile strong, and keep moving forward. If you found inspiration in this journey, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment sharing the biggest lesson you learned from Tyra's transformation. And hey, share this video with someone who needs a reminder that getting fired might just be the first step to building a fortune.